Hey, what's up, y'all? Silent Alonzo here. I just want to talk about some Dogelon Mars, but before we do, I want to ask you to like, subscribe, and share so we can get this everywhere. And remember, every time you retweet, it increases our reach, so I thank you in advance. Now, I know what everybody's thinking. We're looking at these markets and we're seeing it, dip, and they are at lower levels, and maybe people want to be reassured during these times, and they want to feel confident in their investment. Now, I'm going to tell you this price action that we're having, in my opinion, is irrelevant. I think that this is just going to be a blip, and eventually we will never see these numbers ever again. I think that over time we will increase so much and eat up so many zeros that if you're worried now, you will probably laugh at this. Okay, so the longer that you're in crypto, the more you become accustomed to these dips, and it's usually when you take advantage. Not financial advice, but this is usually when you DCA, or if you've been sitting on the sidelines. Times like this are the ones where you take advantage, right? So I do want to talk about some very particular things here. Now, our holders have increased to 129,880 plus, but there is so much brewing in the background, so much going on, that I think I'm about to blow your mind, because my mind was definitely blown when I looked into this. Now, look, the Methuselah Foundation just tweeted, or recently tweeted, that the Methuselah's own Dane Goebel is at DeSci, hashtag ETH Denver, okay? And then you look at the photo that they shared, and I'm going to try to post it here so you could see it. And it is a big screen with a speaker, which I'm imagining is Dane Goebel, right? And it says Decentralized Science. And the image that is on there, you see Dogelon Mars riding a rocket. Okay, so this is being brought forth, this concept of decentralized science, at least this talk, right? Because I don't know how they structured it, but at least this talk put Dogelon Mars right on the face of this decentralized topic. All right, now in this tweet, they also tagged several different groups, okay? And one of them is going to be called For Scientists, okay? For Scientists. And I'm going to see if I can put the actual, I guess their Twitter handle right here. And it says, when you go look at it, the description of it is, we advance tech for long-term flourishing futures by creating community to promote beneficial uses and reduce potential misuse and accidents. All right, so you've got a scientific community there. All right, all of this is going to add up to being a scientific community. Like I said in one of the other videos that I posted, they're all interested in this, they're all for this, they're all on board. All right, and then there's another one called opsci.eth. All right, and it says, an autonomous research community. Science needs a firmware update, hashtag DeSci. Then they also tagged Vitalik Buterin, which is the one who donated Dogelon Mars to the Methuselah Foundation and made them the biggest holder, right? And he's also the co-founder of Ethereum. And the Methuselah Foundation also hashtag Dogelon Mars and Dogelon. So I think what we're starting to see here is that the scientific community is getting behind the concept of decentralized science. And who's been pushing that? Who is involved in that? Who is creating the routes for this funding to take place? And I'd have to say that Dogelon Mars is the trailblazer when it comes to that, man. And once you start looking into like the hashtags, and you go check out the hashtag DeSci and the hashtag ETH Denver, you start seeing that there's people with titles like MBAs and PhDs, and people of that sort, of that level of community, actually sharing the picture of the screen with Dogelon Mars speaking on decentralized science. So we're starting to see a different community pop up, or at least if they've been involved, they're barely starting to reveal themselves, right? And we're starting to see that big push for what the utility of Dogelon Mars is. Like, for instance, our mission statement was defined. If you look up the video where I posted, I believe it was called the mission, right? Dogelon Mars, the mission. If you check it out, you'll see that the Methuselah Foundation clearly defined our mission, right? But you also have, like I said, you have these people that are sharing the actual image with Dogelon Mars with the hashtags. And this is a new group that I've noticed. And if you've noticed it before, let me know. But this is the first time I'm really starting to see this scientific community step up. There's more people talking about the Deep Space Food Challenge, right? So if you go to @DeepSpaceFood, you actually see that they are accelerating a sustainable future of food in space and Earth, an international initiative with NASA and the Canadian Space Agency, administered by the Methuselah Foundation. And then, let me talk about that for a minute, because I mean, you really got NASA, the Canadian Space Station, the Deep Space Food Challenge, Dogelon Mars, and the Methuselah Foundation all, this is all in the same breath. That is just amazing, man. I think you really, if you're concerned, I think you really need to look at everything that's going on behind the scenes. And I don't think it's going to be behind the scenes anymore. I think this is them flexing their muscle, man. This is what I really think. I think all of these mad scientists are going to come out saying that Dogelon Mars is the way to provide funding for this, decentralized science, man. I don't think anybody likes being centralized. And now you've got a whole community of scientists that are backing the idea of having decentralized science. And guess what? Elon, Dogelon Mars, is right there. To top it off, if you want to look a little further back, the International Space Station National Lab on October 22nd, 2021, actually posted on Twitter saying, exciting research from, I believe it's W Firm News, right? It says, hopefully coming to the space station soon. Also, great to see third-party funding from entities like the Methuselah Foundation and Dogelon Mars. So, the International Space Station is talking about Dogelon Mars as well. You got people talking about longevity. When this wasn't even a topic. The one that brought it to light was the Methuselah Foundation, right? One at the moment that we found out that Dogelon Mars was donated to them, and now everybody's talking about longevity. I remember when I did my video about what the Methuselah Foundation is and the connections to Elon Musk. And all them big shots, all them big wigs are talking about longevity. Who wouldn't want to make 90 the new 50? And if you extend your life, just imagine how much scientific research you can do, or space travel, or things like that. It's crazy, because when you look into the Amicus token paper, right, which is on the eLongevity website, you find out that, Dogelon Mars is involved with the vascular tissue challenge, the Leucadia Therapeutics, which comes up with therapies to fight Alzheimer's. They also have Match Grid, which is a kidney pairing software. It's just amazing at all the science that's going on behind the scenes. And I would just say that before all of this is actually, how can I word it, executed, it may be wise to get your hands on some Dogelon Mars, because all of these people, all of these groups, these are scientists. And not to take anything away from us I don't even want to say regular people, but people that work in different industries, right? Like I'm a construction worker. I do some very, very specialized work, and I have to be certified for what I do, and I've got to get certified every 5 years. So, I can't take anything away from anybody, but we have to acknowledge that this group of scientists are all creating a method to generate funding for the science that matters to them in these different fields, right? Vascular tissue, fighting Alzheimer's, kidney matching software, deep space food challenge. You've got all of these different things, man, that all have to do with decentralized science. And Dogelon Mars is right there in the middle. So check this out. Also in the Amicus token paper, you find out that those who stake Elon will receive X Elon, right? And the holders who stake their Elon will earn voting rights, okay? So like governance, right? So you'll be able to decide or vote, right, whether you invest in space missions or make charitable contributions to probably many of these organizations that we've named here, right? And many of these organizations have named us, right, because we have actually contributed to them in the past. So if we're going to be able to have the power to vote on things of this magnitude, meaning space missions, or make contributions, right, to certain charities, right, don't you think that most of the people that are involved in decentralized science or science in general or in any of these fields that need funding would want to be holders, if not are already holders of Dogelon Mars? See, in the scope of things, whatever price Dogelon Mars is at right now is undervalued, because this right here points out the potential, the utility, and the applications that it's going to have in the future. And it's only going to increase. The demand is going to increase. And these tokens are going to become more and more scarce because we're going to have more and more holders. So the only question that is out there right now is, why haven't you became a holder? So if you ain't got no Dogelon Mars, get you some.